Hare Krishna, Namaste. Chapter 14 is entitled as Gunatraya Vibhaha Yoga, Sloka 3, Part 3. Mama yonir mahad brahma, tasmin garbhaṁ dadhāmy aham, sambhavaḥ sarva-bhūtānāṁ, tato bhavati bhārata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the birth of all living beings, O son of Bharata. In the previous session, we learned little bit about Bhuloka, which has 7 dvipas: Jambu, Plaksha, Shalmali, Kusha, Krauncha, Shaka and Pushkara Dvipa. Then we learned Jambu Dvipa is partitioned into 9 varshas, 9 portions: Bharata, Kimpurusha, Hari, Ramyaka, Hiranyaka, Bhadrashva, Ketumala, Ilavrita. We learned that each island, each dvipa, is surrounded by a particular type of sea, ocean. Now let's see what's beyond these 7 islands. The last island is Pushkara Dvipa. This Pushkara Dvipa is surrounded by a freshwater sea. After the freshwater sea, there is a land which is made of pure gold, Kanchana Bhumi. This Kanchana Bhumi is twice the width of the combined width of all the 7 islands and 7 oceans. And then this Kanchana Bhumi is encircled by a mountain called Lokaloka Parvata, and this Lokaloka Parvata is next encircled by a region of darkness, tamas, and the width of this region of darkness is the distance between Meru mountain and Lokaloka Parvata, that is 1267.5 lakh yojanas. Past this region of darkness, there is a pit called Kardodakam. It has muddy water in it. After that, it is the inner surface of the shell, Andam. The pit that we just saw, Kardodakam, is where Hiranyaksha, brother of Hiranyakashipu, took the Bhuloka and hid into this pit, which was then revived by the Lord in the form of Varaha, a wild boar. When we hear or study that Hiranyaksha hid Bhuloka, it is not the earth globe that we are talking about. It is the entire Bhuloka, which consists of 7 islands, 7 seas. So that is what is being hid in this pit. When the Lord appeared as Varahadeva and lifted Bhuloka, it was as if like a small fruit hanging on his tusk. Then we could imagine the huge form of Varahadeva. So that covers the horizontal plane of the universe. We saw Bhuloka. Within Bhuloka there is a Meru mountain in the center and surrounded by 7 islands. and past the 7 islands is a tract of golden land called Kanchana Bhumi, and Kanchana Bhumi is covered by Loka Parvata, and Loka Parvata is covered by region of darkness, and that is covered by Kardhodaka, and then the shell. And the thickness of this shell, Andam, is 1 crore yojanas. Now that we covered Bhuloka, let's see the other planetary systems below Bhuloka. Underneath Bhuloka, there are 7 planetary systems, namely Athala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala and Patala. Atala is a place where son of Mayadhanava named Bala resides with his associate. Vitala is a place where ghosts and similar living entities who are personal associates of Lord Shiva reside. Sutala, where the great son of Maharaj Virochana, that's Bali Maharaj, resides. Talatala is ruled by Dhanava, named Maya. Mahatala, it is the abode of many hooded snakes. They are descendants of Kadru. Kadru is wife of Kashyapa. The snakes who are prominent, who are present in Mahatala are Kuhaka, Takshaka, Haliya and Susena. Next is Rasatala, abode of the demonic sons of Diti and Dhanu. They are called Panis, Nivata Kavachas, Kaliyas and Hiranya Puravasis. They are enemies of the demigod. Next is Patala, also called as Nagaloka. Many demonic serpents such as Shankha, Kuliya, Mahashankha, Sveta, Dhananjaya, Dhritarashtra, Shankachuda, Kambhala and so forth. The chief among them is Vasuki. Some has 5 hoods, some have 7, some has 10, some has hundreds, also some has thousands of hoods. These hoods are bedecked with valuable gems. These talas are very beautiful places which has many mansions, beautiful other places. Beyond these 7 talas, there are 21 worlds of narakas, the hell. In other place, it is said 28 worlds of narakas, namely Tamishra, Andatamishra, Raurava, Maharaurava, Kumbhipaka, Kalasutra, Asipatravana, Sukaramuka, Antakupa, Krimibhojana, Sandamsha, Tapta Surmi, Vajrakantaka Shalmali, Vaitarani, Uyoda, Pranaroda, Vishashana, Lala Bhaksha, Sarameyatna, Avichi, Hayapana, Ksharakardhama, Rakshogana Bhojana, Shula Prota, Dandasuka, Avata Nirodhana, Pariyavartana and Suchimukha. All these names are not for us to memorize for sure, but to be aware there are many worlds of narakas to punish the living entities for their mistakes. So, Bhuloka, underneath Bhuloka, there are 7 talas. Underneath talas, there are many narakas, and after that, there is a tamas, the region of darkness which covers, and then kardhodaka, the primordial ocean, then the inner shell of andakataka, the wall. It is the same as we saw horizontally from Bhuloka. Now we are seeing the bottom part of it, below Bhuloka. Now what we need to cover are those planetary systems which are above Bhuloka. There are 6 lokas excluding Bhuloka: Bhuva, Swa, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satyam. The second planetary system besides Bhuloka, as we go higher, is Bhuvaha. It is 1 lakh yojana high. This is the space between our world, the Bhuloka, and the sun. The space between us and sun is called Bhuvaha. Gandharvas are the residents of Bhuvaloka. Above Surya, the sun, is Chandra, then Nakshatra, then Buddha, Sukra, Angaraka, Brihaspati, Shani, Saptarishis, and Dhruva. That is, the space between sun and up to Dhruvaloka is called Svargaloka. The residents are Devatas, who holds position. They are also called as Adhikarika Purushas, meaning those who are designated with certain positions. They are the primary principal 33 Devatas, 12 Adityas, 11 Rudras, 8 Vasus, 2 Ashwin Kumaras. So 12 plus 11 plus 8 plus 2, that's 33 Devatas, along with their followers. They are the residents of Svargaloka. Above Dhruvaloka is Maharaloka. It is 1 crore yojana high. The residents of this planet are those who have completed their term in their position in Svargaloka and are awaiting for their next assignment. So it is an interim period for them. Above Maharaloka is Janaloka, which is said 2 crore yojanas high. The residents of this planet are the sons of Brahma, namely Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara, and other divine yogis as well. Above Janaloka is Tapaloka, which is 8 crore yojanas high. And this is the place for the Prajapatis who were created by Brahma to carry out the creation of the world. It is through these various Prajapatis that Brahma populates the universe. And last in the list above the Tapaloka is Satyaloka, which is 48 crore yojanas high. This is the abode of Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra. Above Satyaloka is again a region of darkness is covered. And then above that Kardhodaka, and then the Andakataka, which is the hard shell. So what we have seen is horizontal and then vertical. The entire 14 planetary system is covered by the tamas, and then next Ardhodaka, and then covered by the shell. Like this, there are unlimited universes that are created and destroyed by the Supreme Lord. Now that we saw how the universes are configured, and there are many such universes, all these universes are again covered by different layers, avarana, coverings. So the first layer that covers all the universes is water, because universes by itself are Prithvi. The next is water. Above water is fire, and the fire is covered by air, and the air is covered by akasha, and akasha is covered by ahankara tattva, and then that is covered by mahad tattva, and finally that's covered by mula prakriti. It is said 10 times the size of the anda is the width of the layer which is water, and 10 times of the water is the size width of fire, and 10 times the size of fire is the width of air, and 10 times the size of air is the width of akasha, and 10 times the size of akasha is the width of ahankara, and 10 times the size of ahankara is the width of mahad tattva. But we can't say the size of prakriti which covers the mahad tattva, because prakriti has no limit. Therefore we cannot put that into a size. As we already saw, prakriti, there is no end to prakriti on either side. There is no end to prakriti below, but on the top there is a dividing line which stops a prakriti, and that is the Viraja Nadi, the river which divides the material world and the spiritual world. So a portion of the prakriti is changed into mahad tattva, a portion of mahad tattva is changed into ahankara, and a portion of ahankara is made into bhutam, meaning the 5 elements, and those 5 elements which are mixed together becomes the universes, and this universe is covered by water, and then fire, and then air, and then ether, and then ahankara, then that's covered by mahad tattva, and then finally the pradhana, the mula prakriti. The universe and its configuration that we saw, we could understand how big by itself, even one universe, how wonderful the universe is. But with all its planetary system, it is so tiny that it is not enough to occupy fully a single hair pit on the body of the Supreme Lord. Then who else among the various gods can stand comparison with him? What we have seen so far is a creation called Samashti Srishti. As no one else can do this, as no one exists other than the Supreme Lord himself. after he creates these universes, the Lord selects the highly qualified living entity and appoint those living entities as Brahma. After this, the Lord continues still to create further, but through Brahma. And that creation that happens after the Samashti Srishti is called secondary creation, known as Vyashti Srishti. The purpose for us to go through 2 sessions to understand about the universe and various systems is just to know how huge the Prakriti is. Therefore, in this sloka, Krishna says, Mama yonir mahad Brahma. He uses mahad Brahma. This Prakriti is mahad Brahma. Prakriti is called as Brahma in other places as well. For example, in Mundaka Upanishad, it is said, Ya sarvagnya sarvavit yasya jnana mayam tapaha tasmat etat brahma nama rupam annam cha jayate. One who knows everything, by whose austerity everything is being produced from that Lord, the Brahma, the Prakriti, from its unmanifested stage becomes manifested. So here we can see that Prakriti is referred as Brahma. It is interesting to note that in chapter 13, Krishna referred Jivatma as Brahma. In chapter 14, that we are right now, Krishna refers Prakriti as Brahma. And finally, in chapter 15, he concludes himself as Brahma. Now that we understood the first line of the sloka, Mama yonir mahad Brahma, now we have to get into the details of rest of the sloka. What does it mean when Krishna says he impregnates the Prakriti? That will be our subject for the next session. Namaste. Hare Krishna.